been a while. I started reading issue 4. Like I did a video, and I think there was something wrong with the recording or something. So I got discouraged, and then I got distracted by other stuff, and I just never came back to it. So we'll try again. That was before I started recording my audio on a separate track for the game, so it didn't... When it was too quiet or something, I couldn't fix it, and I was like, But anyway. Let's finally read issue 4. How long has it been? I definitely don't remember what voices I gave people. But I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm also gonna turn on my fan because it's hot in here. Okay. Issue 4. The Thorn in Milo's Side. Ah! Ha! The clatter of wooden swords rings through the dimly lit training hall. Sweat beads on my brow, but I pay it no heed and give my opponent no quarter. Gritting my teeth, I ready myself once again. He's going down this time. I see you are finally putting in effort. He, too, is starting to strain ever so slightly, breathing just a little bit harder. And yet he still blocks every stroke and poke I throw his way as if it were mere child's play. I'm not giving up anytime soon, Milo. Good, because I was not planning on letting you rest yet. Finishing blow! I smacked the sword out of his hand with a large overhead swing, leaving him defenseless. Good work. Ha! I beat you. As soon as I aim the sword at him, he grips it by its wooden blade, yanking it from my hand before flipping it over and pointing it right at me. Not quite, Duskhound. A swipe of his legs under mine, and I'm on the floor. I stare up at the lights when the crow's silhouette comes into view. His smile betrays him. You will not defeat me like that, Duskhound. So close. I've been working with Raoul and Milo for a couple weeks now. It's only been a little while, but things have changed considerably. And to be honest, so have I. Mostly for the better. I don't think I could have gotten so close to getting a couple good hits in on Milo when I was just starting out. Still, some things never change. Okay, that was a dirty trick. You should never let your guard down. Yeah, well, neither should... I kick at his legs. They don't give way. In fact, it just ends up hurting my ankle. Ow! You were saying? Nothing. That is spirit. He flips the sword around, offering me the grip. I take it. It's warm and damp with sweat from how tightly I was gripping it. You're improving. Do you have to say it like that? All sarcastic? I'm not being sarcastic, Duskhound. It is truth. I get up and soothe my sore spots. Reaction time has improved considerably since initial training. When you get knocked down as much as I do on a daily basis, that's only natural. What is more, you actually landed several strikes today. I think you have earned praise. And maybe some tea. Wait, we're taking a break? Did hell freeze over? No, I am simply thirsty. Plus, I have to prepare for event tomorrow. Event? Please change to civilian garb, then follow me to Greenhouse. I will explain there. In all my weeks training with Milo and Raoul at this mansion so far, this is the first time I've been inside the greenhouse. I've only ever seen it from the outside, so I thought it'd be as shabby as the rest of this place. It turns out it's anything but. Large plants, fruits, vegetables, and beautiful flowers in myriad colors stretch across its entire length, covering almost every inch of the place. All perfectly maintained, with not a single weed in sight. There's a bunch of very strong smells here. Sweet, bitter. And yet there are smells that all complement one another. Milo sets down a tea tray on a small glass table between us and sits down next to me. I take one of the porcelain teacups. It feels just as delicate and fragile in my hands as it looks. Which probably means Raoul's never touched it before. So this is your usual hangout spot, huh? I like quiet. Greenhouse is soundproof. Though I am known to listen to music. Really? Classical music? Jazz? Close, but no. You can tell me. I could, but it is more entertaining for you to keep guessing. Okay. I look out over the rim of my cup. Did you grow all these yourself? Yes, I did. Even tea you are drinking comes from this greenhouse. No wonder he's so particular about it. It is the thing I am most proud of in life. His voice sounds a lot warmer than usual, and for the first time ever, I see him lean back, take a deep breath, and relax. His feathers fluff up a bit as he settles into his seat. I'm surprised you have time for it, but with everything you do for Raoul and me. Gardening is a hobby I make time for. It offers peace of mind, allows thoughts to wander. I munch down on a stroopwafel, my contribution to today's lunch. You must get tired sometimes. He doesn't chide me for speaking with my mouth full for once. Of course. But I cannot neglect greenhouse. Plants require constant care, otherwise they will not grow. They are much like you in that regard. Just as prone to bruising, I guess. Quite. Continue to hone skills and you will blossom. Never heard that comparison before. Does Raoul ever help out here? He shakes his head. He has offered many times, however, only I am allowed near plants. They require a delicate touch. He lowers his voice. And Master Brevard is not exactly delicate. Not even he knows combination to greenhouse lock. Not even Raoul can get in? Not without me. It is necessary precaution if I am to keep plants safe. You got a point there. I give him 5 minutes until he starts trying to kick in a window. There's so much glass here, I'm sure he wouldn't be able to resist. We both stifle a chuckle. I hold out my pack of stroopwafels to Milo. Want one? No, thank you. Really? I haven't seen you eat since I got here. I shake the bag. They're fresh from the market, man. Come on, surely you can handle some carbs. Delicacies are wasted on me. What do you mean? He's silent for a moment, rubbing his beak. I cannot taste. That is not what I was expecting to hear. I tilt my head as his gaze meets mine. I have not been able to for most of my life. Why? Milo turns away, eyes cast down at the floor. I lower the pack of stroopwafels. So, when you got that cocktail from Willem back at the Hain, you were... lying, yes. But what... I stop. I don't want to sound like a broken record. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. No need to apologize, Duskhound. It is a normal question to ask. You probably wish to know what happened. I mean, only if you're comfortable. You are comfortable, right? He traces the scar on his eye with his finger, then nods gently. He takes a contemplative sip of his tea and clears his throat. When I was younger, I was operative, working for an international organization. Operative? Like a spy? You could say that. I nurtured body, mind, and soul to one day help nurture Europa. That was thought behind my decision. It felt like correct thing to do back then. Every day I would train. Every night I would dream about my purpose. He pauses. I have since lost many friends and comrades. I do not know where my family is or if any of them yet live. So, your scars. 27 years ago, we were on mission overseas. To this day, I do not know how, but Target discovered our location and struck. An explosion at base of operations, heavily damaged body, destroyed nerves, broke bones. Many of my comrades passed away that day. A doctor said I was lucky to be living. For a moment, Milo just stares. His eyes widen slightly, and his beak parts before his chest swells with a deep breath. I disagreed at that moment. Only one eye is working. I cannot taste. Hearing has been impacted. You seem to have recovered pretty well. You're still kicking my butt in training. He gives me a hesitant smile that makes me a little uneasy. I have learned to live with or overcome most physical limitations. But there are things... He stops. I can hear his teacup rattle against the saucer for a brief moment before he takes another slow, deliberate breath. I start reaching out to him, but I pull my hand back again. I take a contemplative sip of tea. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're still here. He nods his head slowly, but I don't get the impression he heard what I said. He looks like he's miles away. I wish I knew what else to say. His eyes flick between myself and the teacup before settling on me. In my hospital room, there was little plant. Nurses had no time to water it while having to care for wounded. It was wilting. At risk of sounding strange, I felt sorry for it. I was in agony, wishing for death to take me, yet here was plant, clinging to life in spite of harsh climate and neglect. Once fractures had mostly healed, I took watering can and started watering plant every week. I removed dust and pests daily. I stayed in the world of living because I wanted it to live. I wanted to watch it grow. See what it would become. If I was not there, no one would take care of plant. I slowly nurtured plant back to health during the entirety of hospital stay. What happened to it in the end? He points to a little potted plant sitting on the table between us. All this time. I take a good long look at the plant and find my thoughts wandering. Its broad, pointy leaves stick up proudly, like swords reaching for the sky. The pattern of dark green mixed with lime almost makes it look like there's snakeskin. The plant's vibrant sheen is what really catches my eye. I know next to nothing about plants, but I can tell this one has been nourished to perfection, despite signs of aging. I'm starting to understand why Milo does things the way he does, just a little bit. I still water it once a week. It has grown strong over many years. You will too, eventually. So, when I say you are improving, I mean it. Thank you. He chuckles. Light returns to his eyes. Once you improve sloppy form. That's why you're here. I suppose it is. And it means a lot to me. Can't imagine anyone I'd rather get thrown or hit by. His hands, still lingering on the scar under his blind eye, tremble slightly. He exhales slowly once more before his working eye settles on me again. Now it is my turn to ask you a question, yes? Ask away. How are you doing? I'm fine. Really. I can tell you are not. I don't even know why I lie to him anymore. Just been thinking, you know? About that night we took down Kamo. I mean, I freaking died. I think. I don't know. You got me wondering if it even really happened. I cut myself off when I feel something warm press against the back of my hand on the table. Milo's own hand. I stopped shaking. I didn't even realize I was shaking. As I said, injuries and trauma can affect state of mind. But that is no reason to carry suffering alone. No matter what happened, Duskhound, we are here to support you. Myself and Dawnhound as well. It's nice to hear that coming from him. Thanks, Milo. I appreciate it. Do not mention it. No, really, I do. And thank you for telling me about... I gesture broadly in front of me, struggling to find the words. Everything. It must have been weighing pretty heavily on you. It is good to have listening ear. We share a smile in peaceful silence before he removes his hand and finally sips his tea. So, what was this event you were talking about? There is floral art competition at City Hall. Floral art? Like flower arrangements? Indeed. I will be participating. That's awesome, Milo. Can I come? I'd love to cheer you on. That is... surprising, Alex. I did not take you for a flower enthusiast. I'll admit I don't know the first thing about flowers, but it sounds interesting. And I've never seen a competition like that before. He thinks for a moment. I would very much enjoy your presence. Master Brevard will also be joining. It can be a little workouting. Nice break from getting tossed around the training room. You say that, but competition of this caliber is far more threatening than Kamo or Saltwater Syndicate. I will need to stay on toes if I wish to survive. We're still talking about flowers, right? His feathers bristle as if he's waiting for an enemy to strike. It is more than flowers. There is one rival in particular who will stop at nothing to ruin me. Eileen. He spits that name like a curse. His claws tremble with fury as he brings his teacup to his beak. She has been at every competition I have taken part in, and she has always emerged victorious. She must be pretty good if she can beat you. I have suspected foul play many times we clashed on Flora Battlefield. But you haven't been able to prove it? He shakes his head. She is conniving, frightening. If you underestimate her, if you are careless around her, she will take you down. I'm almost looking forward to meeting this lady just to see what her deal is. She will undoubtedly try to trick me during competition. I must be on my guard. Hey, we'll be there for you. I'm sure the three of us can keep an eye out. Are you going to be making the arrangements there? No. I have already prepared mine. Cool. Can I see? It is surprise, Duskhound. I have some final preparations to make before I'm willing to display it. He narrows his eyes and finishes his cup. And I wish to be careful until judging. Eileen's spies could be anywhere. Surely you can trust me, at least. Right? Why are you so interested in my flowers? I do not figure you for gardening enthusiast. If there's anything I've learned lately, it's that you're always full of surprises. You treat everything you do with so much care, including training me. I suppress a scoff, realizing that the word care is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that particular context. I've never really met someone with so much passion and drive for what they do. I dare say yours eclipses Raoul's, if that's even possible. Sometimes I wish I felt something like that. Milo looks at me with a half-serious smile, and I almost feel like a kid again. You are funny. Very well, I shall show you. But you must promise to keep it secret. Cross my heart. Good. Because otherwise I would have to kill you. I force an awkward smile as I wait for his expression to change to one as well. Except it doesn't. He is joking, isn't he? Milo? Yes? You were joking about the killing part, I hope. Who can say? With that, he finally lets out a sound that makes me think he's at least partly joking. He motions for me to follow him into a corner in the back of the greenhouse. I'm looking at a small, fortified dome of sorts. I'd say it was glass, but it's not translucent. Milo undoes some kind of intricate locking mechanism and deftly lifts the dome cover, revealing the arrangement underneath. What looks like smoke billows out from under the dome, and for a moment it feels like I'm sitting at some fancy restaurant. You are first person to see this, Hounds. I honestly couldn't tell you what most of these plants even are. They look alien to me, arranged in a playful but meticulous way. I don't really know what I'm looking at. I don't recognize most of those flowers. Many are rare, not native to this land. And what are those? Ferns? Indeed. Most plants you see here are older than time itself. My eyes fall upon something that's not actually a plant. It's a shiny piece of solid resin inside of a small log. It's been carefully carved into a heart shape. Is that amber? Good eye, yes. This is piece of amber I acquired long ago. It looks very old. It dates from late Pliocene epoch. You mean the Ice Age? Older still. I don't know much about prehistory. My expertise on all things dinosaurs didn't last beyond my 8th birthday. I am not paleontologist either. However, Miss Fenna estimated this to be at least 3 million years old. I thought Fenna just did art stuff. She has degrees in a number of fields. It was not ceremonious acquisition, but it intrigued me. Ah, I figured you'd be here. Raoul's voice sounds muffled from the other side of the greenhouse door. May I enter, Milo? Milo hits a different button and I hear a beep and a click. The boss himself enters, nose twitching. He stops to smell a flower on the way. While he's distracted, Milo re-engages the arrangement's locking mechanism. All ready for your big day, Milo? Almost. That's great news. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll knock it out of the park. How was work, Raoul? Splendid. We're currently developing a new gardening tool. He clears his throat. I shouldn't say anything else. Brevard really does make everything, huh? Only because Master Brevard cannot sit still. He sees problem, he has to fix it. Like carpenters seeing everything as nailed to be hammered down. I have the means and the know-how. Nothing else to it. If I have the opportunity to improve someone's life, I take it. I wish my boss back at Brevard had that worldview. I'm not sure I ever apologized for all the things that happened to you while you were working for the company. But changes will be coming to the way we treat our employees. I can assure you that much. I appreciate you looking into it. It needed to be done. How are you, Duskhound? Did your training go well? Oh, training was great, right, Milo? Oh, yes. I believe fundamentals have improved enough for more advanced team exercises. Team exercises? Like, you want us to beat you up at the same time? Ah, you can try. For today, however, Duskhound, you are dismissed. Shippersburg City Hall is probably one of the oldest buildings in town. Not that you'd be able to tell. With how often it gets renovated, I wonder if any of the original structure is still there. Nevertheless, its age and rich history make it a prime spot for tourists to visit, though most of them only check out the admittedly very fancy lobby and call it a day. Interesting place to hold a competition like this, gotta admit. Didn't expect there to be this many people. Truthfully, it is more crowded than I anticipated. Might have to do with Mayor deciding to judge competition himself this year. I did notice a lot of flyers with a familiar reindeer's face on it plastered around City Hall on the way here. He's been involved in a lot of events lately, hasn't he? Feels like I see him everywhere I go. Even Willem said he came over for a bit during the anniversary party, while we were going after Kamo. Wonder if it's for some election thing. Raymond, are you gonna be alright? I think so. Thankfully, it's not too noisy in here. Just making sure. Don't worry, I brought some noise-canceling headphones if it gets a bit overwhelming. Besides, we're here on an important mission. And it's finally one I don't have to suit up for. At least I hope so. If these past few weeks have taught me anything, it's that when Raoul gets involved, anything can turn into an adventure. While I'm focused on Raoul, Milo inspects the crowd with narrowed eyes. I do not see her yet. Oh, the lady you were talking about yesterday? Is she really that big a deal? He mutters something in his mother tongue. Oh, what was that? Hellspawn. I take it I was right on the money. I hardly ever see you this worked up over anything, Milo. You don't know who she is either? I've only ever heard the stories. Quite frightening stories at that. She sounds like a force of nature. That is putting it mildly. I, for one, thinking having a rifle to push you does wonders for your growth. She is not rival. She is nemesis. Judging by the tension in his shoulders, he's about to reveal some stuff that would make Max look normal. She... Hello, sir. You're a participant in today's competition, aren't you? I saw you registering at the desk over there. Oh no, I know that voice. I know that intonation. As if there's an active audience listening. I know who's asking before I even turn around, and immediately I feel compelled to duck behind my bosses. The crow stares at me quizzically before turning his attention to the lamprey, who shoves a little tape recorder under his beak. I am not participating. I am winning. But yes.
Good golly. We have a participant with a real competitive streak here today, folks.
He pulls out a little notepad. It's got enough scribbles and drawings to make Raoul jealous.
I'm with the Shippersburg Sailor. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions about...
As he looks up from his notepad, we lock eyes. I've seen it before, but I still love that freaking face. It's so good. His slack-jawed stare lingers for a few moments, then turns to the closest approximation of a grin a lamprey can muster. Which mainly involves rows upon rows of teeth, each sharper than the last. It's a little scary when you aren't expecting it, I'll be honest.
Alex, is that you?
Ah, you are acquainted. Milo and Raoul step aside, leaving me in an awkward, hunched-over position. I give him a pleading look, but he just folds his arms and smiles. You could say that.
Ah, don't be shy. We used to date in college.
I feel my face getting red hot. Figures we'd run into Emil here, of all places. Guess it helps our breakup was amicable back in the day, but yeah, it's still awkward. How's life been? We haven't spoken in
6 years and about 145 days, but who's keeping track?
I tilt my head and he laughs.
I'm kidding. I've been doing great. Got my degree, got a job, and you know.
He mimes climbing a ladder. Journalism, right?
And look where it got me. A city hall, baby.
He thrusts a pressed lanyard at me. The front-facing picture looks a little out of focus, like he couldn't sit still when it was taken.
Sure, today I might be reporting on was it a knitting competition?
A floral art competition.
No, I'm pretty sure it was knitting. It's in my notes.
He rapidly flips through his notebook, tilts his head, then shrugs.
Can't we just pretend it's about knitting? That's what I was prepared for.
I don't think that's gonna work, Emil.
Fine, I'll adjust.
He makes a sound like a deflating balloon.
Where was I? Oh, right. Today I might be reporting on a floral art competition, but I'll be crime reporter before you know it. Book deals, here I come.
You rehearsed that speech, didn't you?
You know it.
Emil hasn't changed one bit. Even back in college, he was always this peppy and excited about everything. Always off chasing his dreams. Didn't matter if they were realistic or not. He was always giving 100%. That same excitement led to the occasional accident in the bedroom. Teeth like that are a safety hazard even with the best of intentions. Wasn't that the reason we broke up? I can't really remember.
What about you, Alex? Did you ever go back? You know, to get your degree?
Nope. I work for these guys now. I gesture to Raoul and Milo.
What do you do?
Well, it's, a little complicated.
Oh, I know. It's written plainly on your face. You are an apprentice knitter here to learn from the master.
I hear the loudest snort I've ever heard Milo make. A gardener. And no, Alex most certainly lacks any talent for gardening. Hey! Emil looks at me with his notebook in hand, almost as if he's moving on to interview me instead. Well, it's not exactly cleaning, but it's sort of close. If cleaning up the city of criminals is even a remotely decent metaphor. After all this time, we never actually went over a proper cover story for my new career. I shoot a quick look at Milo, but for once it's Raoul who steps up behind us and answers. Alex is my personal assistant. Not exactly a lie, at least. The name's Raymond. I'm a tinkerer of sorts. I like building things that make daily life more convenient.
A bona fide inventor, you say?
Essentially, yes. Though it's less glamorous than that and more about.
So you can invent a giant death ray, for example.
How would that make anyone's life more convenient? Well, no, that's not really.
Or something really practical like a robot that can make soup. But I wouldn't give for someone to invent a robot that can make soup for me.
Actually, that one's on my list of projects to complete, just as soon as I work out a few small kinks. Carpet stains. 3 weeks. It was a minor setback, Milo. Version 2.0 will work, I guarantee it. With Alex by my side, it's sure to be a success. Success. I don't know why that came out weird. I know what they're talking about, and even I'm starting to lose track of this interaction. I almost feel sorry for Emil. He must be so confused right now. I think I have the full picture now. You do? Because I'm entirely lost as to what this conversation is even about anymore.
There's no need to be ashamed, Alex. Professional carpet cleaning is a very respectable profession.
Why does everyone feel the need to lecture me on respectable professions?
It just seems a little out of your wheelhouse.
How so?
Well, considering how messy your room always was.
I was not, and I'm still not a professional cleaner, okay? I'm just Raymond's assistant.
I did always figure you to be more like the tinkering type anyway.
And he's more than capable enough? I wouldn't be here today without him.
Clearly, he's in good hands. I do wonder, though, what is an inventor like yourself doing at a floral art?
The lamprey shoots an insecure look towards Milo, who is clearly suppressing a sigh. Floral art.
A floral art competition.
As it happens, we are merely here to support our good friend Milo for the competition. And perhaps get some ideas for a new gardening tool or two.
How about a robot vacuum cleaner you just put in your room and it does all the work for you?
Doesn't Revoir Enterprises make several different models already?
I know, but bigger. See, the small ones always take forever, and they can't get into all the little nooks and crannies. Imagine if it worked like a tornado, but in reverse.
That does sound like it might have potential. I can almost feel the heat of Milo's glare. Do not even think about it. Oh, don't be like that, Milo. All we need to do is take a few precautions and nothing can go wrong. I am not cleaning up resulting debris and shrapnel.
A friend of mine was working on one, actually. She invited me to report on the test run and everything.
Was? You mean it's completed? Did it work?
Not exactly.
Did something happen to the invention?
Oh, no. The invention has been decommissioned, for now.
Then, your friend, is she okay? Suddenly, Raoul doesn't seem as eager about the idea of a tornado vacuum anymore.
Well, she's still incapacitated, but I'll have to ask how she's coming along once she can use her arms again.
Raoul and I exchange a worried look.
Oh, it didn't explode or anything. There was simply one minor technical issue. In addition to the dust, the vacuum would suck up other stuff in the room too.
I mean, one would think that much was obvious.
And the motor was a little more powerful than expected.
A little? It'd need to be an industrial motor to cause any real havoc. Someone speaking from experience.
It wasn't a problem at first, until the knives started flying. Perhaps the kitchen wasn't the best place to test it after all.
Suddenly I'm wondering if there are any inventors among Max's many siblings. I shudder at the mere possibility.
Maybe you can come and Maybe you can help my friend finish her invention. I'm sure she could use the assistance, what with...
He makes a wobbly gesture with his arms. Thanks, but I think I appreciate the relative safety of my current gig. Emphasis on relative. Well, look who it is. Oi, Al, and Ray, too. Oh, thank heavens, a savior. Well, what a nice surprise. What are you doing at City Hall, Willem? Right back at you. Didn't have you pegged as a big fan of flower arrangements. Oh, I'm here for Milo. He's participating, so I thought I'd come along. What about you? Doing the catering?
What, you really think they'd bring me in for a fancy pants thing like this? Nah, just watching my grandniece for the day. She really wanted to come here for the event.
Yeah, it should be easy for someone like you.
You'd think so, but she's a bloody handful, that one. I can wrangle a bar full of drunk folks all right, but she can run circles around me.
Oh, that's nice. Where is she right now? He points his thumb at a little girl behind us with bright yellow feathers carrying a basket about as big as she is, similar to the one Milo was carrying. She's talking to Emil, but he has to kneel to even let her talk into the little tape recorder. I can only catch bits and pieces of their conversation, every sentence punctuated by one of Emil's wild gestures. Wait, she's participating? Can you believe it? I can't, really. She's so tiny. Don't competitions like this have an age requirement? I'm also worried about this nemesis of Milo's. With people like that around, it doesn't seem like a very child-friendly competition.
Usually her parents take her here, but they're on the other side of the country right now. Apparently, she's been doing this for about 3 years now.
How old is she now?
9.
9? The little girl's head snaps in our direction mid-sentence.
And a half. 9.5. Apologies. Come on over here, won't ya? Got someone I'd like you to meet.
She waves Emil off, then skips on over.
This here's a friend of mine. One of my regulars, actually. His name's Alex. Alex, Ray, this is Aline. Awful nice to meet you, sir.
Ah, nice to meet you. What did you say, Aline?
That's me. I guess Mr. Milo must have told you all about me.
I exchanged glances with Raoul, and if one thing is clear, it's that we're both very confused. Yeah, he did, I think. Wasn't expecting you to be... Well, what I mean to say is...
You weren't expecting me to be a little kid.
I look at the ground. Yeah.
Well, I'm not just a little kid. I've won this contest 3 years in a row, and I've got the trophies to prove it. Mr. Milo's just grouchy because he always gets second place.
I only get second place because you choose to lie and deceive, Aline.
Ah!
Can you please stop doing that?
Lie and... deceive? What's that mean?
And Milo narrows his eyes at me. I should have known she would dig her claws in as soon as I let both of you out of my sight. You didn't tell me you were beefing with a 9-year-old? She is no ordinary 9-year-old. She looks pretty ordinary to me.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mr. Milo.
She bats her eyelashes. You can fool them, Aline, but you will not fool me. I know full well what happened last year.
You losing? I remember that too.
If I remember correctly, this is the mayor? Right? No, let's not get ahead of ourselves, people. The competition hasn't even started yet. Yeah. A large reindeer in a pair of overalls waltzes on over with a laugh. Mayor Brower, probably. Close enough. Mayor Brower, it is a pleasure to see you again. The feeling's mutual, Mr. Drozdov. It's lovely to see you return as well, Miss Aline. I'm glad the top 2 from last year could make it. You really took us by surprise last time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm still a bit sad that all the other contestants ended up dropping out.
As am I. But truth be told, you really earned that trophy fair and square. I spot Milo making a face. I'd laugh, but he'd make me regret it in training later, so I stifle it as best I can. I see the two of you have brought some moral support. I recognize Willem, but I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you two lovely people yet. He gives us an expectant look that makes way for a quizzical stare as he looks up and down. Say, don't I know you two from somewhere? A news item, maybe. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, no. We're just regular people, aren't we, Raymond? Right, we are, Alex. Just friends of Milo's here to support him. Of course. Well, I'd like to welcome you to City Hall all the same. Thanks. Don't mention it. He grins at me. His teeth are so sparkly white it's almost scary. I know that look in your eyes, boy. You do? It must come as a surprise to you that an event like this is being personally overseen by the mayor. Yeah, kinda. Especially with so much going on in the city. It is my job to represent each and every citizen of Shippersburg. An event like this might seem like a relatively small affair, but it plays a vital role in bringing people together. Connection, my boy. I believe that is the best way forward for our fair city. And you simply can't achieve that cooped up in an office. That's what I always say, too. Truly. Well, it's a great aim. In practice, it gets a little difficult. I have to be a man of many hats, as it were. Oh, Mayor? What is it, my girl? I had a question. Uncle Willem says you have really pretty paintings here. Could you show me? I'd be happy to. He tips his head to us. If you'll excuse me, I'm looking forward to seeing your entry, Milo. Milo narrows his eyes. You will be amazed. I bet I will. I'll see you at the competition. They walk off, Willem following behind. Emil, who's been running around unsuccessfully trying to get an interview with participants, dashes back over to us. Aw, the mayor's gone. I still had a couple of questions I wanted to ask. I'm sure he'll be around later. He groans. At this rate, this piece'll be page 7 material. Is that a bad thing? Page 7 is where journalism goes to die. I'm looking for a front page shoo-in. Maybe you should write about the Glory Hounds. I hear they're pretty popular. Raoul puffs his chest up as he says it. Who? The Glory I could hear you perfectly fine. I'm not interested. They stopped the Saltwater Syndicate. Save the money talks gown. Yeah. Last month. I need current news is all I'm saying. Something exciting, something... He's cut off by the fire alarm, and his falling words are drowned out by shouts and screams from the crowd around us. That's a good place to end that one. That's where I ended it last time, when I screwed it up. So I'm going to end it here again. For reals this time. It definitely feels better than the last time I tried it. So, yeah. As always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Blah, 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 whatever. Bye.